Okay, when I saw this on the side of the road, I was like, no way am I passing that up. So I took off that disgusting cushion and cleaned it all up, sanded it down, and then I got some amber shellac and did a couple of coats on it. Here is the second coat, and this is Debo approving of my shellacking job. And here is Murphy helping me decide the fabric. And then here is Arlo helping me cut the fabric and the cushion to the correct size. And then I staple gunned it all down. And I actually made 2 of these seats and just did a heavy duty Velcro so I can switch out the fabric that I like. Here is the finished result. I am so happy. Trash to treasure.
I've been asked quite a few questions about how I do the upholstery. Here is quite an old Victorian nursing chair. The front edge totally collapsed, so I'm rebuilding it. I do this by using hair, very original and traditional to the chair, and then I do a hand stitch, 2 hand stitches to create that firm edge. Here's the base layer of calico going on that just keeps it all contained, nice and tidy. Top cover, the fabric was an oatmeal linen. I didn't choose it, the client did. Here the inside back is going on with the base layer of calico, and I hand stitch to a wire frame that just sits at the back of the chair. You can see me hand stitching to the wire frame there. And there you go, ta-da, one finished chair.
Let's make a foldable wallet. These are the measurements to cut and these are the ones to mark on. Take both card pockets and iron it like so. Repeat this until you get something looking like this. Top stitch your flaps, then sew them in place. Sew your square onto the top and the card holder, flip it and top stitch it in place. Sew your card holder so the first interior panel all the way around 1/4 of an inch. Then take your lining and just sew the top. Fold it, iron it, top stitch it, and then place it onto the outer lining. Stitch the bottom at 1/4 of an inch, sew the Dickies label onto the other one, then sew it right sides together with the Dickies label facing the card holders at 1/2 of an inch. Cut the 2 sides in the bottom, flip it, use your stick to push out the corners, and finally, iron your raw edges together on the top so they look like this, then sew them together. And that is how you upcycle your old Dickies into a foldable wallet.
When I was in middle school, I learned how to make duct tape wallets, and I got really creative with it. You could use all sorts of patterns, pretty much anything you could buy. And of course, my classmates wanted some of their own. I remember I would make them and sell them to students who maybe didn't even want them to begin with. I charged about $5 a piece, maybe $1 or $2 more depending on customization. I don't remember how much I sold in the end, maybe 1 or 2 dozen, but I do remember this one student in particular. He was one of the first people I sold a wallet to, but as I got better and started adding things like pockets for credit cards, I sold him another wallet for what was his last $5. So he got the wallet and had no money to keep in it. Everyone wants to know how I made the wallets I was selling in middle school, so here's how I did it and how you can too. I'm going to try and make this as easy as possible. The first thing you're going to need is a strip of duct tape a little longer than the length of 2 credit cards. This is going to be your outside wall. Now pick your color for the inside, make it the same length, and you're going to stick it right on top, but you only got 1 shot at it because you are not going to separate 2 layers of duct tape from each other. Fold over the little lip, and now you've got the first edge of your wallet finished. What we're doing next is very straightforward. You're going sticky side to sticky side over and over again. So you're going to keep doing this until it's longer than the width of $2 bills. That is how you know you can fold it in half and safely keep your money hidden inside. After a little check, we know we're good. You could also do what I did, which was pre-cut all the strips of duct tape and kept them on my wall. Go ahead and cut off the uneven edges. This keeps things nice and smooth when we fold our wallet in half. So in case you missed it, I'm showing you the first business I had as a kid, aka making duct tape wallets. Now at this point, all we have left to do is attach the credit card holder and clean up the edges. This is super easy. We're just going to snip them off. And now we have to close up this side, which of course we're going to tape shut. I mean, what else would we do? This is pretty easy. We just use 1 piece on each side. Kind of looks like a canoe at this point, but we're going to tape up the other side. And these strips are trimmed to the length of the wall, so there's not going to be any overhang. It's going to be a perfect fit. Now for the credit card holder, we're just going to take 2 pieces of duct tape and tape them to themselves, much like the first part. We're going to fold both edges over. And at this point, all we need is a way to attach the credit card holder to the duct tape wallet. Something sticky like more tape. I'm just going to tape 3 of the 4 sides so that the card sticks up at the top. And we'll just tape this right on, and the blue tape will blend perfectly with the blue tape. And there we have it, a duct tape wallet.
I'm gonna make this chair cooler looking. That skirt is hiding the modern leg. See? I took a grabber-madoodle and headed for the piping. Then I conjured up some snip-snips. Now pull the piping back and cut. Right through there. Now it's time for Mr. Grabber-madoodle to finish the job, pulling that skirt all the way off the effing chair. You may notice some little pieces of cardboard and stringies. That's okay. You'll get those later. This chair had a saggy diaper, so I had to rip it off. Now for the staples and stringies. Get some needle nose pliers and just start pulling all that stuff out of there. Good job. Get a little trash can so you don't have to sweep it up. Look at all that dirt. Let's get some Lysol and start cleaning it off of there. Spray, 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 and a wipe, 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 and repeat that process till it gets so clean. And a spray, spray, spray. Whoa! Doesn't it look awesome? This tree has nothing to do with this video. Check out these fiberglass Eames chairs I found. Can you believe it? Someone farted in that one. I'm gonna fix it with gloves, polyurethane, and a brush. Now apply a thin coat of the polyurethane all over the chairs. Make sure you clean the chairs really well before you do this. Whoops, forgot to show you that. But I cleaned it really well. Okay, now sunbathe them. Come back, check on them. Sometimes this happens where, oops, a little bit streaky. So I'm gonna have to sand it. But wait, it's fiberglass, so spray some water on it so you don't get fiberglass in your hands or in the air where you're breathing it. Okay, now wipe all that stuff off of there and apply another thin coat of polyurethane. 3 to 4 hours later, it'll be ready for you to be like, look. Oh my goodness gracious. Got these cool rattan bar stools, but some of it's hard to clean in that little space right there, see? So I spray, 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 and then I get my little rag. And if you look in there, it's still dusty. So then I got an idea in my noggin. I sprayed it, and then I took some of that air duster, and I was like, oh, shit, yeah. Some of you guys are probably like, why didn't you just use air duster in the first place? I'm like, because it doesn't work by itself, stupid head, see? Now it's time to address these arms. They need some help. From a marker, ha ha ha, bought it at Dollar Tree. Now just kind of color it like kindergarten, cop, And then do a little blendy move with this towel. Microfiber's kind of cool to use. Oh wow, honey, these will look great in our kitchen at our bar. Let's make this chair even cooler. The skirt is hiding the mid-century modern legs. You need some grabs and some snips. Now find a place where the skirt is loose. There you go. Put your grabs there and give it a little snip. Yep, you cut it. Good job, man. You can benefit from this little rolling motion and do it around the entire chair. Just really rip it apart. Now Needle knows how to pliers off there, so use them. Oh, a trash can appeared. Awesome, I need that to put the trash in. So it's starting to look pretty good, right? Get some fiskers and cut any little string. Give me that. Okay, see, I cut the strings off. Now I'm ready to sit in it and look up and to the left and smile.
Hey guys, Mitch Jalapeno here. So I got this comment here and I actually had this video in my draft, so here it goes. The homeowner did not have the doorstop on the baseboard. They took it off for whatever reason. And they opened the door a little too hard and the door handle went straight through the wall. So I'm going to show you what I think is probably the best method to repairing this type of damage. So first thing you want to do is plastic. I don't want to create more work for the homeowners. So whenever I leave, I want it to be nice and clean. And then what I like to do is I measure my drywall piece and see what size it's going to be. And then I trace it onto the wall. You could cut the hole in the wall first and then measure it and then put the piece of drywall. But I think it's easier to just cut the drywall piece first and then trace it onto the wall and then cut it. What I'm using here is a drywall saw. You could also use a utility knife, but in my opinion, it's a cleaner cut with the drywall saw. I'm also going to put some wood backing, that way it's going to be nice and sturdy. I put a screw in the middle, that way I could hold it while I'm screwing the other sides. I put my piece of drywall up, I put the other screws on, that way it's going to be nice and tight. Remember, you don't want to put the screws in too deep because it's going to make the drywall a little loose. You're going to cut the drywall paper and it's not really going to hold as good. So just be careful, like a 1/16 into the drywall with your screws. I added a little bit of mesh tape. And then this little powder I'm using, it's called Easy Sand 5. A lot of people call it hot mud, quick set, but this stuff sets in about 5 minutes. So I just kind of, this is my first coat. Make sure you kind of really put some pressure on it. It goes into the little lines there. And then I apply it with my 12-inch blade or a putty knife. And then I use my 6-inch to kind of cut the edges down a little bit. And then I flatten it out with the 12-inch again. See, and it looks a little rough right there. That's the first coat, but I'm not going to sand it. What I'm going to do is just apply a second coat over it. That way it's going to be nice and smooth. And then I don't have to, sand it down where it's going to be all the dust is going to go everywhere. Look at that, nice, smooth. I'm going to put my heat gun on it. That way it dries a little bit and I'm going to wipe the edges. Look at all that trash. But I'm going to wipe the edges and sand it down a little bit, not too much, because it's not completely dry, but you want to make sure you wipe the edges. That way it's not going to be a noticeable patch. And then remember, if you have flat walls, you're done at that step, but this one had knockdown texture. So I'm going to use my Easy Pro texture system to shoot it. Super convenient. They sell it at Home Depot, Sherwin-Williams. And then look, that's pretty much done. I'm going to come back to paint in another day, but hey, let's not forget the most important part of the whole video here, the doorstop. That way it doesn't happen again. And there we go, look, Jalapeno Solutions. Oh, wait, too early. So yeah, look, that's pretty much good. Jalapeno Solution, boom.